Bestie, let's just be real for a second. Oh, it is real. Sometimes life literally feels like you're dragging your feet through actual jello, and honestly, even the absolute simplest tasks feel monumental. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving straight into hacking your motivation. Because look, we've all been there, right? Staring at the ceiling, feeling like just getting out of bed is entirely impossible. I mean, why does getting out of bed or getting dressed or even just sending one quick email feel like you're Sisyphus pushing a literal boulder up a mountain? Well, if you're feeling stuck, completely overwhelmed, or just straight up unmotivated, this is for you. We're gonna look at exactly what's happening in your brain, no gatekeeping here, just straight facts and science to get you moving again. To put this in perspective, think back to the COVID lockdowns. During that time, a massive 40% of people reported experiencing symptoms of anxiety or depression. But why? Well, it's because their normal behaviors and everyday routines were completely suppressed. You know, we often assume that our mood dictates our behavior, but actually, pulling back and stopping the things we normally do directly tanks our mood. For a lot of people, it had absolutely nothing to do with inherent biology. It was entirely about that sudden change in behavior, creating this awful cycle of a lower mood. Section 1. The glitch. It's not laziness. Look, if you are feeling stuck right now, I need you to stop calling yourself lazy. That is just not the move. What you're actually experiencing is essentially a system glitch. Your brain has hit the pause button because it's trying to protect you, but it's totally gone into overdrive. So first off, you might just be burnt out. Like your body is physically out of juice and desperately needs strategic recovery, not more grinding. Second, you could be overwhelmed. The mountain of tasks just looks way too huge, so your brain just freezes. Or third, you might be anxious or fearful. You're overthinking every worst case scenario, or maybe some deep-rooted perfectionism is literally holding you hostage. The point is, it's a glitch in the system, guys. It is not a flaw in your character. Section 2. The vanilla vibe. Acting for the plot. To fix this glitch, we need a massive paradigm shift. Picture this. Imagine a high school cross-country coach looking at his totally exhausted team and saying, "Okay, kids, when you want a snack and you walk down to the deep freeze in the basement and you've got two types of ice cream. You've got this amazing chocolate Oreo fudge caramel, and then there's just plain vanilla. Which one do you choose?" So, as the team just stares back with these blank faces, the coach answers for them. He says, "You choose the vanilla. Why? Because you don't want to. And why are we going to run hill sprints today? Because you don't want to. Let's go." And honestly, that right there is the exact energy we are bringing today. We are totally forgetting traditional motivation. We are choosing vanilla. Now, clinically speaking, this whole concept is called behavioral activation. Basically, it is the literal skill of doing the thing specifically because you don't feel like doing it. When you're stuck in the rut, you absolutely cannot wait for the vibes to be right to get started. I know it kind of sounds like faking it till you make it, but it's really about acting for the plot. You act first, and the feelings, they follow later. Section 3. The science rewiring your dopamine. Okay, here is a universally accepted fallacy for you. We all think emotion leads to action. We think you need to feel motivated to start something. But the science, it says the exact opposite. Action leads to emotion. Think about dopamine. Dopamine is not a starter pack, it is a reward chemical. It usually doesn't even release until after you take action. You literally have to take the action first for the chemistry in your brain to actually change. So here is what you're gonna do. You're gonna run a mini experiment on yourself. Treat forcing yourself to activate, like just getting out of your pajamas when it feels utterly exhausting, or finally going to that social event you've been dreading, treat that as a scientific test. You are actively gathering data to prove to your brain that those rigid "I can't do this" thoughts are factually, objectively wrong. See, when you track your mood each time you force yourself to take action, your brain actually learns that action helps. It creates this tiny, crucial glimmer of hope that says, I might feel better later. Let's get moving. It breaks up those unhelpful looping thought patterns and gives you the exact leverage you need to finally step out of the rut. Section 4. The strategy. The main character era. Now that we actually know the science, it's time to step fully into a highly achievable, totally low-barrier strategy playbook. Here is a super clear 4-step roadmap designed specifically to trigger that dopamine and get you moving again without causing a total system overload. We're going to break down micro steps, an amazing mirror neuron hack, strategic rest, and finally, self-compassion. Step 1, micro steps only. Bestie, please do not try to clean your entire room today. The mountain is just way too big. Instead, I want you to break it down into baby steps that feel absolutely impossible to fail. Just clean your bedside table. Or literally just move one single pillow. That one incredibly small action is actually enough to trigger the start of that dopamine reward cycle. Step 2 is the mirror neuron hack. This is so cool. If you physically cannot get yourself moving, just pull up an inspiring get ready with me or a productivity video. Seriously, your brain has these incredible cells called mirror neurons, and they literally behave as if you are doing the task just by watching someone else do it. You can totally use that artificial momentum to jumpstart your own real-life day. Step 3 is absolutely essential, and that is strategic rest and honoring your natural rhythms. Listen, sometimes the absolute most productive thing you can do for your to-do list is to take a 20-minute power nap or go for a quick walk outside. We are human beings. We naturally go through cycles where we have high energy and periods where we desperately need to recharge. Pushing through blindly, that just leads straight to more burnout. And finally, step 4, we need to completely shatter the idea of tough love. Self-compassion is the actual goal here. Calling yourself names or constantly beating yourself up, that just drains whatever motivation you have left. Studies clearly show that being kind and understanding to yourself makes you vastly more resilient and so much better at bouncing back from failure. So stop the negative self-talk and give yourself a ton of credit for those tiny, small wins to keep the dopamine flowing. Which brings us to our final bottom line question. Remember, you do not need to feel different to act different. So, what will your vanilla choice be today? What is the one small thing you will do right now specifically because you don't want to? Put on your shoes, write that very first sentence. Choose the vanilla. Your future self is going to be so incredibly proud of your plot development. Keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.